What's going on, people? Good morning. Welcome to United View, and welcome to the morning view. Welcome to the view of what the hell is going on in the curious case of the Manchester United takeover. Welcome to that view. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. You know what? I'm not going to get into loads of, getting off topic and doing what we got to get straight into this, because what on earth is going on? Takeover chaos. Takeover chaos, Owen.
Oh, takeover chaos indeed. Right. I'm going to do my very best here to guide you through the events of what happened after we went off the air last night. So if you would have seen last night, myself, KG, DJ, about an hour and 40 minutes, we were chatting, we were discussing, we were waiting for the bids to go in, and it was widely reported, not just by one outlet, by several reporters, several outlets said world record bids from Sheikh Jassim, his 9-2 foundation, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, their bid, they were in. World record bids. We finish. We end the stream. Everyone goes, okay, we might have some more details when it comes to maybe numbers in the morning. Next thing you know, the bids are not in. The bids have not been received. So this was what was put out there just after we finished last night. It was from Kaveh Solokol and everyone else saying Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe had not submitted their bid for Manchester United before the 9 p.m. deadline. Now, then the wording of that kind of got a bit muddled because they were preparing those bids. They had not been received yet by the Rain Group in New York. Both had asked for extensions and the request had been accommodated, with many other proposals being submitted before the 9 p.m. deadline. Many bids, according to Kaveh and others, had gone in for Manchester United yesterday evening, approaching 8. Again, the key thing was, and this is the way that Kaveh was explaining it on Sky Sports, that the bids had not been received, i.e. he was talking to people, I guess, at either United or Rain, and they said, look, we haven't got anything. He even said the phrase, we can check
spam.
Check our spam, check our junk box. We haven't got anything. Now, then, Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail said, despite being told that both Manchester United bids had gone in, it now transpires that was not the case, and both groups had asked for more time, possibly the end of the week, possibly today. Again, this comes from the Times now, saying that the representatives from both Qatar and Ineos said their bids were in, but the Manchester United sources said, no, the bids haven't been made, and they'd asked for an extension. New offers coming in tomorrow. Now, the reason why, and this then developed into, okay, why did they ask for an extension? If the funds were ready, if the bids were ready, why didn't they just submit them? Rob Harris from Sky News said it's understood Sheikh Jassim's second Manchester United bid was actually in the process of being submitted. Then they discovered on the deadline that Rain had extended the bidding process so it can be fine-tuned. Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos are also preparing their second bid as well. So apparently maybe they were just about to submit it, and then they heard, actually, you realize you can submit it tomorrow if you want to. And they said, oh, we'll wait until tomorrow. But according to Kaveh, other people did get bids in before the deadline last night, just not from the two public bidders. They have been granted extensions, the public ones. Rain were expecting between 5 to 8 bids. They actually received a figure that's approaching the top of that range. So they're saying that even without those two public bidders, they got at least between 5 to 8 bids from anonymous bidders last night. Now, I could continue on, but that is essentially the story. They're saying that the public bids could go in this evening or could go in later this week. Fabrizio Romano is saying that the public groups haven't even been told a new deadline as of right now. But these extensions have been granted. And if you're concerned that Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe aren't committed or anything like that, it's been reinforced. Simon Stone, Dan Rowan as well, all saying, no, they are still committed, but they believe now they've got more time, so they're taking more time. But the confusion now stems from, and again, I told you it was convoluted, the confusion now stems from, there are some that say they asked for an extension, they asked for the deadline. There are others that say they were offered a deadline, and nobody knows. And the latest this morning is, quote, and this is according to Tom Morgan from The Telegraph, quote, "This has not gone down well," says one Manchester United insider. Flex, what do you make of all that chaos?
That was the last word there, chaos. But I'm gonna say, right, but I'm gonna say media chaos. I'm gonna say media frenzy. I'm gonna say media having a field day. Sources slash journalists slash insiders, um, everyone having a field day. When yesterday's news was kind of breaking, I was at an award show, so I was trying to keep half track of it. It wasn't until I got back quite late that I could actually go through it properly. So big shout out to you, DJ, and KG, who was live last night. But I was kind of keeping half an eye on it, and I spoke to Owen previously before, and it was getting a bit chaotic even before then.
Mm.
And when I just saw it all transpire, and then now I've taken it all in and listening to that bit, and then seeing again what we knew would happen. We maybe didn't think it would be in this way because we said, well, Thursday morning we'll have a lot to go off the back of the bids going in. There'll be some front runner talks. There'll be, some how much the bids were, world record, etc. We would have been having different conversations, not this. But we did say there would be stuff afterwards. And when I take a step back now and take it all into context and just forget Sir Jim Ratcliffe or whether it's Sheikh Jassim or whatever, now I'm actually remembering which in my opinion, I would encourage us all to do. Manchester United is for sale. Manchester United, the biggest football club in the world, right? And it's looking for a world record fee. People got to sell papers. People got to get in different outlets. People have to understand what's going on. They have to be leveraged to get. Some people are getting rubbed up by this set of people. Some people are getting buffed up by this set of people. And there's so many different messages going on amongst such a big situation that I think it's getting skewed, because clearly it's getting skewed because we've got people, inside sources, saying the club haven't received anything. We've got some big reputable journalists who we've been believing a lot of what they're saying that bid has gone in. We've got other people saying bid didn't go in. We've got other people saying extension was offered. We've got other people saying extension wasn't offered. So when it's like that, somebody is wrong because you're saying A and you're saying B. So, somebody's wrong. And I think that there is also on top of like the media lapping it up, because I'm not saying they're just lying about everything, but what I will say, what I believe is that also this financial posturing, this businessman-like posturing between massive companies over massive sums. Sometimes people play a little few games, and you could say, don't do that. Don't piss the Glazers off because they won't sell to you, or you're playing a dodgy line there because they'll just get angry and they'll just take the money from Elliott and stay. And you can say that, but essentially, when things this big happen, like we kind of expected, it's never just going to be plain sailing. It's never just going to be easy, i.e., how much do you want for that football club? Okay, here's the money. Right, let's go. And then it's very interesting to see that what I'm getting a sense of as well is the Ineos and Sheikh Jassim bids, right? I feel like they're the glamour ones. Yeah, because we're hearing about up to 8 bids of like people in the background that did get their bids in. We have no idea who these people are. We have no idea what sort of makeup those bids are. Are they consortiums? Are they funds? A lot of them I was reading aren't for majority takeovers as well. So do Glazers have more options than just Elliott to be able to stay? Do they have Elliott and then they can take another and put it together to make another? We just don't know. But I feel like the Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Sheikh Jassim ones are so sort of shiny and exciting, A or B, whichever side you lean into. And it's become a versus. I don't know if you saw, like, during COVID, they had them versus battles between different artists and stuff. But it's become like a versus. Sir Jim Ratcliffe versus the Qataris, head to head, paying off the debt and getting rid of everything versus putting the Manchester back in Manchester United, British record. Like, I feel like the media have tried to face these two off. And they are serious about buying the club. We know that. Obviously, we've seen them there. That's not fake. But I just feel as it's got further down the line, the media have more, whether they've decided to find out more about Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe and left the others in the background. I don't know. But it definitely feels to me like those, because they're the main ones trying to get the majority of the football club, I feel like they've just put them in a face-off. And now, who knows? That is the thing. How do we know what to believe? You know, Carve said loads and loads of things. You know, Bloomberg have said things. Wall Street Journal interviews with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I won't overpay, and it is crazy. It is absolutely mental. And actually, what I've learned, before I hand back to you, what I have learned is that actually, why am I surprised that the sale of Manchester United would have this? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is Man United. I don't think it's going to be easy.
I agree with aspects of what you're saying, but I disagree with others. I agree with the aspect where you say about, obviously the media are going to milk this for what it's worth. It's whatever the transaction is that if there is one, it's going to be a world record fee. So and it's Manchester United. So put those two together. My goodness me, it's going to be full-blown chaos anyway. So I think, and I don't think the media truly knows, because they're not really allowed to truly know, because there are NDAs involved. So because of that, you do get sources, you do get people close to going, actually, you know, whispers. I get that, but you can't not look at what happened last night and say that that is farcical for a transaction this large of, yeah, the bids have gone in. No, they haven't. or no, we haven't got them. No, we've definitely submitted them. And then the idea of, oh no, we asked for an extension. And actually, we were offered an extension. Which one do you want? Actually, we're not too happy about this. It just seems, it's just odd. It's just bizarre.
But we don't know whether that came from them or the club or the media. We don't know where that's come from.
This is the thing.
How do we know it definitely was 9 p.m.? I know Harvey said it.
Again, and maybe that's the point. Maybe that deadline didn't exist in the first place. I don't know, but then that's how bizarre then this is all getting. Is that deadlines that had been reported didn't actually exist? People close to the bids are saying they put their bids in, but people close to Reign and United saying we ain't got any bids, we haven't received any bids. And then this morning, people within, again, if this is all true, and you have to take of it what you will, people close to Man United say, well, we're not happy about this. Because at the same time, this is what doesn't make sense to me, is if they did ask for an extension or they were offered extension, how come the other bids, how come they got theirs in on time? What's the difference? Why did they need why didn't they need an extension? And why haven't we heard about those people as well? You know, they're anonymous people. Who are they? Are they full transactions? Because and also as well, it just so happens that the two people that required an extension are the two public bidders. The anonymous ones.
What I'm saying, yeah.
The anonymous ones, they got theirs in on time, if they even exist. So,
but then the other bit was,
it's crazy.
People saying, I think it was Fabrizio and others. He probably, you know what Fabrizio's like. It never always comes from him. It comes from someone else, and he just goes with it. But the bit about, like you were saying, the bids were ready, but once they realized they got offered extra time for just no reason. I tell you what, it's half an hour before the time. It's an hour before the time, and you're Man United, and you ring Sheikh Jassim, and you ring Ineos or whatever, you email them, whatever, and you say, do you know what? I know it's due in an hour, but give it to us tomorrow if you want. And then that
seems bizarre, doesn't it? Why would you do that?
If you're Sheikh Jassim and if you're Ineos, everything would have been ready for the 9 p.m. Like it would have been. Yeah. It just would. It should have been. Why would you go? Well, I'll tell you what. I can fine tune it then. I.e., like when you're rushing your homework and your homework's late, you're like, oh, well, I'll just rush it and give it in now for the deadline. And then the teacher goes, oh, you can give it in tomorrow. And you go, oh, okay, I'll work on it a bit better. That means it wasn't really the best version of your bid then, was it? If you're going to still fine-tune it.
If this was uni coursework, because this, in fairness, this happens at uni, right? You have a deadline, coursework's got to be submitted by this date, and then they go, there's a bit of a problem with the online system. It's been pushed back 24 hours. You put it in on Monday instead of Sunday. Now, you've still got the opportunity, to your point, to put it in if you want to over the weekend. If it's ready, right? And some people might go, well, if I've got an extra 24, maybe I wait an extra 24 and I read over it one more time. Maybe it's just as simple as that. Maybe it's just as innocent as that.
Yeah.
But this is the problem, is an already mysterious process, because it has to be, because of, again, NDAs, and this is a lot of money and there's a lot on the line here. So I understand people not wanting stuff to leak out, but it's just got even more convoluted, and it's got and all of, in fairness, all of these journalists, I know we're saying, oh, what do they really know? But they were all saying last night to a person, they were going, this is bizarre. That was the word that 3 or 4 kept saying last night. Went, this is bizarre. Like it's you've got one group of people saying one thing, You've got another saying something completely different. There's dispute on what actually has happened.
It was that one, isn't it, from Matt
Yeah,
Norton when he
yeah.
said
Matt
that.
always
Big
said
up Alpha.
it's
That's when he
bizarre.
said that. Yeah.
Yeah. And but you know, and where and try and find the truth in all of that. As always, it's probably somewhere in the middle. But I mean, even if you're because I saw yesterday what they said about Sheikh Jassim, they said the funds are in place, the money's in place. Imagine then, like you said, you're getting ready to put this bid in. How long is it left? About an hour left. Okay, we'll get the bid in. We're typing away. We're going to send it over. Then you get an email going, you can do it tomorrow if you want. Your initial reaction would be, why? Why are you giving me that extra time? And then also, because you're paying attention to the media too, you're paying attention to all the stories. Then you also say, wait a minute, 5 or 8 other people, they put their bids in and they didn't need an extension. Why did they offer one to us? You know, you would ask those questions.
Or, and again, all we can do with this is do this, what we're doing. Or maybe it was or this, but in the interest of or are those bids, and it's not an excuse, I'm just hypothetically talking as well, because I ain't got a bloody clue. Were those bids, all the other ones that just went in, are they just minorities? So it's like, we know what we're doing. It's a minority bid. This is what it is. 1 billion or 2 billion worth of investment. Here it is. But the magnitude, I know, the magnitude
more concerned. They're
of the other ones are so big.
But the bigger ones, they're offering extensions. The other ones, make sure you get them in at 9, because they might be the ones we really consider. Maybe they're the ones we really want. You know,
but ultimately,
there's been this skepticism. There's been this skepticism the whole time, hasn't there? About going, did the Glazers really want us out? The 2 public bidders that are offering world record fees, they either needed extensions or were offered extensions, and their bids technically still haven't got in. As of right now, their bids have not been received. Now they might be come the end of the day, but my spidey senses are tingling, Flex, because last night when all of this was coming through. And I'm going through my timeline and trying to sift through all of it. I just went, this is just, it's odd.
Yeah, it's farcical. It's more than odd. Let's be honest. It is, because we were all told 9 p.m. I mean, mate, we were live, ready, because it's been told.
I was live at 8.
9 p.m. Bids are exactly. Bids are coming in. Let me get the super chats out. Nathan says, "Yo, Flex, that song from the intro is hard. What is it?" I'm not going to lie to you. That is where Josh comes into it. Media Ninja. You have to at him for that. I have no idea what it is. I do know it is hard, 100%. It's a great intro, just like all the intros here on UV. But yeah, that is when Josh is, mate. I have no idea. The creative side of it, it's like I'm like the DJ Khaled. I just I know what sounds good and looks good. And you do know him. Another one. You do know DJ Khaled.
I know him.
But his role is almost like to put the ingredients together and just give the green tick. I can't do I can't make it. I need Josh to do that. He's the man. And then I'll just, that'll be a hit. Yeah, that'll be a hit. But Josh is the guy. He's the guy who can tell you that. Nick says, who knows? Maybe suddenly a silent third party emerges, or Sir Jim Ratcliffe teams up with another group. I won't rule anything out yet, since there are like 8 bids. And you know what, Nick? That last bit, what you just said there, won't rule anything out, because even in the lead up to these world record bids that were going to come in by 9 p.m. yesterday that didn't, Harvey always kept reiterating, and other people have as well, do not rule out the Glazers staying at Manchester United. Now, I know that will really annoy some Manchester United fans, but what I'm being told is that the Glazers won't definitely leave the football club, and that has been reiterated loads. But really, Carve literally has given us every single eventuality. When you strip it down, let's just strip down what Carve's been saying and what, loads of other outlets have been saying. If we actually strip it down, remember we was talking about the timeline of like after a transfer has happened, and you go back and look at different rumors that happened at different times, and you think, well, that was bollocks. We've literally been told every single possibility. It's like predicting a football match and going, could be a win, a loss, or a draw here.
It's like playing roulette and placing a bet on every color, every number, and you go, I've won.
Right, exactly. And that there, Owen, and that there is like where I'm like, actually, that's why I'm like, I think Takeover Chaos is probably the right. Well, that's why we've gone with it. It is the right sort of title, because it's like it is chaotic, but also
what is going on?
What I mean? What is going on? But also, I do think there's a little bit of, you know what? it's hard because we follow this day by day. And if you get emotionally involved like we are with our football club and we want to see the best for it, we want to see it sold, we're following every single microscopic
the minutiae
announcement, tweet, like to the minute. If one journalist says something extra, we're on it. Then we go, oh, that's kind of what he said, but then we sit back. Then someone else raises their head, right, we're on it. Then we go back. And really, when I deep it now, actually at 9:21 in the morning, I'm going, actually, hold on. All that's happened is they've told us, okay, we know that some facts of the club's for sale. We saw guys come to Old Trafford and look around. So it really is for sale. I believe that.
It's a real thing.
That bit's a real thing. But in terms of everything else, it's as simple as this. Everything's on the cards. We don't know. Innit?
I mean,
that's the base. That is it.
This is the weird thing too. And this again came from Carve, all possibilities, saying the Glazers do want to sell Manchester United, but only they know how much they want for the club. Even some of the most senior people involved in the sale process don't know the asking price. So
That's
these
ridiculous.
first bids from Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe were around 4.5 billion, he says. But this is how crazy it's getting. They got guess. There's no defined according to Carve. Some senior people within the bidding process. I don't know if he says what side it is, if it's on the Glazer side. You would think the Rain Group would have to know the asking price of the club they're trying to broker the sale of. What's the asking price? Don't know. Guess.
Owen.
Well, it's like one of those things that are fate. You know what I mean? When they've got all of those squares and then you have to pick one, you go, see if the picture's underneath here. What's going on?
I don't know. Walk into Connell's, estate agents, want to sell my house. All right, we're going to come to your house. We're going to value it. Come to my house, look around. We've gone down a survey. We've checked the foundations, checked the brickwork, checked the heating, electric, gas, everything, We've, this is the value of this house, though, whatever. What do you want to sell it as on the market?
Well, maybe that's why Sir Jim said it. How much does a house cost? How much does painting cost? Because he don't know. Because the Glazers don't know. I don't know.
Don't know. I tell you what, whoever wants to buy it, Rain Group, I tell you what, your Rain Group, I'm the Glazers. Whoever wants to buy it, let them guess. I'm not giving them a ballpark figure. Let's waste time. First round bid, not enough, mate. Second round bid, not enough, mate. I can't believe that they don't know. But on the flip side of that, and again, we're dealing in or maybe, because that's all we've got, because it's a topic of this. Now it's just fun. Now it's just crazy discussion. So we may as well just talk about all the, because there's no factual stuff now. There isn't. Well, there is some. There's some that the club's for sale, and that's it.
Yeah. Even that's not technically true.
Well, actually, true.
The exploration of strategic alternatives are being explored right now. That
they really are
transaction. Yeah, they are.
Okay. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So even if say they do, it is true that no one knows what the figure is. Yeah. Is that, or could that be a way just for the Glazers? Again, we haven't set a price. Just give us your best bids. Just keep going up more. Is it an easier way of doing that?
This is the thing. Like sometimes people mistake playing 4D chess for incompetence. You know what I mean? You know when sometimes someone is just genuinely like butchering things, and they go, "This is all part of a bigger game. This is all very smart." And in reality, if you were close to the conversation, or if you were close to the process, people would be like, "I have no idea what's going on. I don't." I'm not sure. I mean, the fact that I know I keep repeating myself, but the fact that a multi-billion-pound bid, a world record bid, could be like, oh, have we got it? Haven't we got it? I'm not sure what's going on about that. I mean, I was reading this last night and I was already being like, oh, I'm just going to be glad when this is over. Someone just buy the club already, because it is, like you said, it's tedious. It really is. And we're going to go through all it. If the bids are coming in tonight, we're going to go through it all again tonight. Again.
Yeah. It's going to happen. Exactly. It is going to happen. Another super chat here says, Aminor says, Flex, will UV host a live face-to-face Q&A session in the future? Yeah, absolutely. Would love to do that. We're on our way up. We're taking the right steps. We're building. You saw at the 100K party. Well, I'm not sure if you did, but whoever did come to the 100K party, and that was literally at a year old. We managed to get a few hundred people together and at Taco Social in London and have a wicked night. I saw the United Stand actually doing a live
I
like
did. I
thing
saw that
in
as well.
the theater.
Amazing. Yeah,
Unbelievable,
incredible.
unbelievable. I remember just before COVID, when I was still at United Stand, they kind of planned that, and it was the first one was going to be in Dublin, and COVID ended that. So it's really good to see them do that, and they're going on a tour around. That just shows you how big fan channels can be, to sell out like theaters and auditoriums, man.
Yeah.
The line was crazy, and yeah, that's been a long time in the making for that channel. So I was really pleased to see that. Actually, that was a nice touch to see them get that love. But yeah, why not in the future? 100%. Like Lil Yo-Yo says, he was there. 100%. So that's what we want to see. So in the future, well, 200. Listen, I will say this: 200K, 100%. Like every 100, every milestone,
there's a party.
There's a party. There's a party. So I think it's really good to celebrate like your wins, innit? You don't. We're so quick to keep doing this sort of stuff every morning, following the news, following the games, the ups and downs of the emotion of the season. But we really do love you guys, and when we get a chance to come together, I think I've said to myself with this channel, every big milestone we're going to celebrate, no matter how small. So yeah, I love that. So we will in the future. 200K party going to be lit. Someone said, don't know where it's gone, but yeah, someone said that, and it will. What was I going to say?
There's a couple other super chats as well that you may have missed earlier on.
Go for it.
So Andre says, Fabrizio said that when Sheikh Jassim submitted his bid, they were offered an extension, but the bids will still go in, which again is what we kind of referenced earlier. But at the same time, that's there's a lot of conflicting information about whether it was offered or they asked for it. Nick also says, who knows, maybe a silent third party emerges or Sir Jim teams up with another group. I won't rule anything out yet. There are like 8 bids. There's been a lot of gifting this morning, Fleck. There's been 5, count them, 5 gifted memberships from Kristen, who's gifted out 5 memberships. I would scroll up, but I can't find who they were actually to. And also VK as well has gifted out 5 memberships as well. So the community is ever growing. Yes, it's always growing, it's ever evolving, getting bigger and bigger by the day. Flex.
Insane, exactly, insane. That is, I mean, I saw a thing. We got over 400 members, man. That's insane. That is insane. You know, on the way to 500 members, obviously, again, on the way to 1,000 members. Like, it's just, honestly, at an event I was at last night, I was at the Football Blacklist, and the amount of people that came up to me and just said, you know, love what the channel's doing, love the community you guys have built, such a short space of time. People in the industry as well, ex-footballers, quite a few ex-footballers in there, talking to Anton Ferdinand, Wes Morgan, Kevin Lisby, there's a name for you as well, Kevin Lisby, ex-Charlton. Yaya Toure was there, but it was just and just actually people from the media. I was actually had a good chat with Darmesh as well. He was there. We did have a little chat about the takeover.
Were they getting with that kind of stuff again, because it was happening whilst you were there? Were they getting that? Were you getting that information as it was happening last night? Because I remember sending you like a bunch of messages, and then you responded like an hour later, going, "What on earth is going on?" Basically,
while the actual thing was going on, I wasn't present in that moment because it was literally during the award show. I've given out loads of different awards, etc. But like you said, when you saw that, I messaged you an hour later because I went through. Because what Owen will do, he'll just always send me through like what's going on if I'm not at my phone or the laptop or whatever. And I'll just boom, look. And so I'm looking at this timeline. And Owen's funny because Owen will send the links to what's going on. And then he'll put his own thing at the bottom. What on earth is going on? So before when you used to send things from like Twitter or whatever,
it
comes up anymore. With what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No. So all you see is Twitter at like a big link.
Yeah.
But then you see the English on the bottom. You go, oh, what on earth is going on? I'm like, I'm going to click these. It's not going to be good news. It's funny, but yeah, it's mental, man. It is mental, and I did think, you know what? I just the penny dropped. The penny has dropped, and this is why. Actually, Owen, when there's been times where I think there's been times when you've been quite excited that it's going to go one way, something's going to happen, and I think when was I saying? I think it was on the Flex and KG show when KG was like, "Oh yeah, you know what KG's like? He deals in absolute."
Oh, you should have heard him last night.
He's like, it's guitarist.
he was on he was on another level. I mean, we were talking about Michael Knighton as well. And he was playing the Today I Feel Qatari thing a million times. He said, "This is what I think of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid," and then he played the cricket sound effects. He was very excited. He was so excited that afterwards, I think he did a few Peloton workouts. He was really fired up, And now I don't know what he's going to be thinking this morning. And he probably still doesn't know, honestly. But yes.
But then, yeah, and then when I said to him on another show, I was like, I don't know, I'm not getting too excited because they can still stay, and you just don't know how this is gonna. Nah, and Cage said, nah, the Qataris are this. It's gonna. Oh, it's fine. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. And that's why I'm just like, nah, until they're gone or until I see a bid accepted. And even after a bid accepted, there has been articles. Again, you don't know how true they are. Some articles have said there's going to be pushback from the Premier League, and other clubs are going to come together and say they don't want Man United to be owned if it's Qatar by them. Then there's been other, equal and opposite articles to say, Sheikh Jassim, etc., if he was to win, are comfortable that they would be okay with anything from the Premier League, etc. So it just keeps going on and on and on, and it ain't going to stop for a while. I think this is going to just keep going and going and going. I really do.
Well, and also you did bring, and to your point that you mentioned earlier, we are in an international break now where there is less going on. So something's got to fill up the airwaves, right? Something's got to fill up the papers. Something's got to fill up the back pages. People don't really even care that much. England are playing tonight, apparently. Who cares? So it's going to be stuff about this the latest round of the takeover bids and all that kind of stuff. But what I will say is that if come this evening, because remember as well, this evening's deadline, that hasn't even been confirmed. Not that the one yesterday was really confirmed. If we get to something this evening where they say, yeah, we don't really know what's going on with the bids this evening again, or have they still?
Yeah, because they were saying it shouldn't be too long. They were still saying bids still expected to come.
Remember, if they were ready to go, if they're ready to go and fine tuning, maybe we'll just be reading over it again, proofreading. You need an extra day to proofread. Make it Friday. Let's just make it Friday, Flex. It's end of the week, Friday, no problem. If it gets stuff like that, is it wrong of me to be worried? That's my question.
Of course it's not. This is what I mean about the whole thing of it.
Because I am.
Like, yeah. The real Owen's being deadly honest. Listen, you should. I'm not trying to. I don't scaremonger. I just say how I feel, and we discuss it. I think you should be concerned. Not again. Club's not for sale. It's definitely not going to happen now. It doesn't mean any of those things. I'm just saying. Actually, no. Do you know what? Concerns even maybe not concern. Well, what are you concerned about? The club not being sold. What are you concerned about?
I'm
or are you just
worried.
Tired? Or are you just tired? Are you just fatigued?
I'm always tired.
on the Is it that though? No, because like that emotional being up here, then there, then going left, then going right. I feel like Owen saying to us this morning, Fleck, I'm tired.
You know what it is also as well? It's like, you paid for something ages ago, yeah? And they say, look, it's being shipped from overseas. It's going to take a couple of weeks to get here. And you go, okay. And the time you wait for ages, you go, I'm really okay. I'll wait. You get the thing through. It's in customs. There's that thing. You ever had that where you've ordered something from overseas? They go, actually, dimensions are wrong. Custom. You got to pay a little customs fee. You go,
yeah, you got to log on, pay the thing.
Yeah, you do it, and whatever. And then you go, yeah, okay. And then you go, finally, it's going to come today. It's coming today. I've waited this whole time. And then they go, yeah, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. And you go, it's been a whole process to get here. And in reality, you go, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll get it tomorrow. But the day longer that it's not here could still get lost in the post. It could still get lost until I have it in my hands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But this is what I've been saying. Until the Glazers, I'm not getting excited. When people were like, oh, don't be so pessimistic, Flex. And I was like, but the reason I feel like that is because this is just the Glazers. We are dealing with the Glazers potentially selling. It isn't potentially their most prized asset. It is their most prized asset, but I mean potentially selling it. Potentially selling their most prized asset, of which they have milked and bled dry for the last is it 17 years now? Was it 18, something like that?
Yeah, 18,
You know,
17 years.
you know, for the last 17, 18 years, they've milked it dry and got every single last piece out of it. And they actually have, and I'm not trying to sound alarming, I'm just saying it as it is, as we understand. They even have a tangible way of staying at the football club. They have
There's
a way.
options.
They have a. They're not in. What worries me the most, like you said there, Owen, is that they have options. This isn't. I don't think. Although this could be the perfect time for them to sell and they can cash in. I agree with all that. They still don't have to. They did have to secure investment to take the club. You know, we couldn't have it. We didn't have any money in January. Had to get 4 million loan signings. You know, they didn't take dividends out. You know, the club's gone as far as it can under the way that they've done it for them to be able to take dividends. Hence why the only way we've seen them actually try and intervene is now, because they can't take dividends out. They can't keep doing what they've been doing. Even they go, fucking shit. Sorry to swear in the morning.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that was really bad. 22, you can't be saying F words, and I apologize. But to the point where now now is the first time they've sat down as a family and gone, we need strategic alternatives, partial sale or full sale. Something needs to change for us to keep making money, because that's what this is about. If they sell the full club, they make a ton of money. You know, probably one of the best flips in business ever. Buy something for 500 million. Was it 500 million they bought Man United for? I think it was.
Yeah, something like that, and not even their own money.
Something like that. Not even their own money. Take for 17 years, 18 years, and sell it for a world record fee of, in their eyes, 6 billion, and they bought it for 500. Yeah, so that's what this is about. Or find this partial investment or strategic alternative, i.e., injection of cash, i.e., somebody who will pay for a new stadium for you in return for some profits, someone who will pay for a new stadium for you in return for some money back, some profits exactly on their investment, someone who will, you know, continually invest in the team or whatever. Injection of cash, like what Richard Arden was saying. I know it was not how we wanted to hear the information, but he was right when he said, well, look at Tottenham, got a new stadium, this, that, and the other. Where did it come from? They needed an injection of cash. You can't just magic it up. And in this case, we've got the options of a whole new set of owners who are willing to spend that level of money to invest at that level, or, like you said, the Glazers stay. Like with Daniel Levy and stuff, all the board's still the same. They just got an injection of cash from the NFL, from F1, from Beyonce. Do you know what I mean? From AJ fights, like whatever it is, they've turned that stadium and their club into something that actually is a big tourist attraction now. So that, you know, on the list of things to do when you go to London will be to go watch Ed Sheeran in concert, will be to catch the British Grand Prix or whatever it is. It won't be. It's anything but watch a football match. Watch NFL. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could they even do a thing where
tour
they
the
do
museum
WWE
and see nothing? You know what I mean? Tour the museum, going, well, there's nothing in it. It's going to be a very quick tour. So,
well, here's AJ's gloves signed with his robe that he walked to the ring in. You know, here's the helmet from Tom Brady before he retired. You know, that kind of shit. But at the end of the day, what Richard Arnold was saying was completely right. That you have to have the injection of cash. And now back to what we was actually talking about. That is the real worry and concern, is that this isn't a family that must sell this club. And to the point of, surely they got to sell because, one, it's the best time they're going to get this type of money. Which actually I don't think that's 100% true. I think if they didn't sell it now for 5 billion, I do think that it's especially if Eric Ten Hag keeps doing what he's doing and starts making Man United all right again. If they wanted to sell it next year or in 2 years, they could still get a big flip. It might not have to be the 6 billion, but they can still get a lot of money for it. It's Man United.
They were saying though, with football clubs, is that like that? Not that it's a bubble that's going to burst, but they were saying that sort of inflated price, that demand to be in the sort of the football ownership game. You know, it was a real statement of intent when Chelsea was sold, because the thing for years was, the problem is not many people, you know, people might want to be involved in owning a Premier League football club, but it costs a lot and not many people can afford it. They saw Chelsea get sold and they went, actually, a lot of people are interested and we're way better. We're way bigger than Chelsea. Let's put our price up. But now, a year on, and again, this is where the reports are so baffling, is you've got a group of people saying there are loads of people interested, and you've got others saying, oh, nobody interested. Carver just yesterday, said it's a 2-horse race. There's 8 bids in. So that
So
race
why
got
is it a
bigger.
2-horse race if there's 8 bids?
Exactly. So you say that they might not be, they might get more for it in the future. They might not. And this is what some people are saying too. You don't know what the economic climate looks like at the moment. Banks are collapsing out there. You know, Sir Jim, certain loans he couldn't get. He's Britain's wealthiest man, because they're going, oh, we don't know, actually. We're not sure about that. So they also have to think about that to themselves. You know, this offer of 6 billion, and it's not there just yet. Maybe it's 5.5. You might not be able to get that in a year's time. And that's what maybe what some people from Rain are saying to them. I think the nerve of the Glazers as well. Let's be honest. Can you imagine? They purchased a club, not with their money. They've taken money out of it in dividends for nearly 2 decades, like literally bled the club dry to the point whereby they need to sell it because they can't, you know, be bothered, and they don't even have the money to invest in a new stadium and a training ground and everything else that needs to be done. But they're still willing to get someone else to pay it for them. And they're going, not like a loan where they're like, well, we'll ask for the money and we'll pay it back over time. No more loans, because there's already a loan against the club. And we're not actually interested in paying that back. We'll pay off the interest payments, but we'll leave that as it is, because that loan's been there for 20 years. It's just the same amount of debt is there today as it was 20 years ago. But if you want to fix the stadium, if you want to fix the training ground, we'll get someone else to pay for it. We're not going to put any of our own money in. And those people that want to pay for it will give you a smidge, about that much 100%. Of Manchester United in return. That's it. That's 100%. It. That's the carrot. And to be honest, I know that's how investment firms work and all that kind of stuff. But even that, I'd be like, wait a minute, this stadium's going to cost $1 billion. What kind of poker game is this? £1 billion buy-in for a pot that isn't even that big in the future, just to be at the table, you know?
But this is what I mean, Owen.
And nothing's changed, Flex, when it comes to that. The cash balance is still as it is a few months ago. It's still not very high.
Nothing's changed.
You know, nothing's changed.
It is, and that is what my concern has been the whole time. Is what is consistently going to be my concern until they're not here anymore. Because also the other side of it of, oh yeah, they've got to sell now, because look, they've basically put up for sale. People been looking in, you know, checking the books and stuff. The fans, oh god, it'd be terrible. Oh, they're going crazy. Well, it's never stopped the Glazers before staying in hostility. I don't think they give a shit about that. Even though it would go up a level. I agree. Now it would go up a level. You know, big protests and stuff like that. But sit tight, stay in LA. Don't go anywhere near it. You know what? We're not gonna riot. We're not gonna stop the team playing every single week. Eric Ten Hag doesn't deserve that. You know, we're still because that's the thing. What they play on. That is the thing that, you know, they know. You know, Eric Ten Hag can mask a lot of what's going on. He already kind of has, because we're doing better now, and the forecast looks good. You know, get us a couple of players in the summer. Give Eric Ten Hag what he needs. Probably not to the level that he needs, but because he's a fantastic manager, he'll make it work. And we keep going in the right direction. And it's like, the players don't deserve that. You know, Eric Ten Hag don't deserve that. They ain't got a clue about ownership. They couldn't care less. Like, they just want to play football and prepare for games, and they've done a flipping good job of doing that, considering. But my point is that the Glazers won't care. Do you think
Carver said yesterday? In fairness, he did say care. He went. They'll sell at the right price again. Don't know what that price is, but they're not opposed to staying. And by the way, those sort of the narrative of they can't stay, there'd be a mutiny. They could give a shit. Basically,
they don't care.
They couldn't.
Old Trafford would still be full.
Or they could care less.
If they, you know, TV rights would still pay all the rights. You know, they would still sell shirts, and you know, and the protest would really happen, and that's good. That's good to let them know. But you know, I don't think the Glazers are selling primarily because of the protest is one part of it to make it loud and proud that we don't want them here. But I think the real reason why they're in a situation, why they're doing this, and the club's potentially for sale, is because of the money situation. Because it's got to a point where it needs investment, not because there was one too many protests. That's the reality.
About. Yeah, that's.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the reality. That's not saying protests don't matter. That's not saying that. What's the point in protesting? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, well, in my head, I can clearly see this is the Glazers. The reason why this club is potentially up for sale or looking for investment is because they are no longer able to take dividends. If they were still able to take the same money they could always extract, they wouldn't be doing this.
No.
They wouldn't be doing this. If they could afford to do a new stadium plus a new training ground and everything else with what they have and still take dividends after, they'd probably just do it. Or probably because they don't care about Man United, just wouldn't do it and just keep extracting. But that's the real reason. And that is why the only reason I'm talking about that is again, not to say there's no point in protesting, but to actually emphasize the importance that they do not care. They can still stay here at this football club. And that is the big thing that scares me. They are not a family that must sell this asset. It's just a bonus. It's if they feel like doing it. And while it's in their hands, that scares me.
At one point, early in the process, it felt like it was like, okay, they have to sell now because they've, United have run out of money. They don't want to put money in. Okay, they've got to this point of no return. They have to sell it. But the moment, to your point now, that there are options on the table, there are alternatives to a full transaction. There are these offers of, we'll give you $1 billion. They're like, brilliant, great. We can, and they have the conversation then with the siblings. Can we make that work? I know you guys want out. We still want in. Would you be happy on staying in? I bet I wouldn't. I'm guessing here, but I'm sure that's probably part of the conversations now. The phrase is exploration of strategic alternatives. I bet they're exploring everything now and having a look at, okay, we could stay. It's possible we can stay and we can make it work in our eyes, not in the fans' eyes, but we don't care about the fans think. We could stay if we want to, but if that big offer's on the table, those world record offers are on the table, how tempting are they? That's probably the key thing. And that's when it goes back to what's their price? What is their asking price? And to be honest, even if their asking price was met, that's almost no guarantee that they'll sell anyway, because then it becomes a case of call their bluff.
There. Exactly. Owen, remember when we said, I think this was at the beginning of it, right? You don't know what the Glazers are going to do. And this is why. They've got a decision of sell up, and make record amount, to get that money in the bag forever. And I think you said which one you'd choose. You said you'd choose to sell up because you're getting that money now. If you keep the club, you don't know how things are going to go. And I get that 100%. And I agree with you. But just going back to that conversation, this is why they're scheming little so-and-sos, because they could sell it, like you said, for record fee and cash in. Or because they're greedy, that law of still being able to stay and get that continuous extraction of money. Yes, it's a bigger risk technically, business-wise, because of the climate and things. I understand that. But they don't have to. They do not have to sell Man United. It is the noises I'm getting. Do you know what I mean? Because, like you said, the options are there. They've got options, bro. They've got options. And when you've got options, that makes you the most powerful situation. And actually, the real winners, I'd even go as far as saying the real winners, actually, in all this, is still the Glazers. It's always going to be the Glazers. Whether they sell it because they bought it for 500 and they're now selling it, or whether they take minority or strategic partnership investment thing, take that and then they get to stay and off they go. Give Eric, like I said, give Eric Ten Hag a couple players, let him do his thing. He's a fantastic manager. He's building a good team. And I just feel that if they stay, we'll be back here again in 5 years. Maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. But
what do they want too? Do they want money? Of course they want money. But also, do they want power? Because if they stay in United, they have the status of being the owners of Manchester United, the biggest football club in the world. And how much does that appeal to them as well? How much does that stroke their ego? They might feel like, look, 6 billion divided by 6 siblings anyway. Some get more than others. I don't know what I'd do with that kind of money, to be honest, in my lifetime. I just want a little bit and I want to stick around because I need to be in control. I need to have the power. It's like it in with WWE at the moment. Vince McMahon, he retired, he left, and he could have, for the rest of his days, could have sat home. He's already a billionaire, and he thought, no, I've got to come back. Why? Because I want to come back. It's mine. It's mine. I own it. I got to come back, and I want to be involved.
It takes over you. Yeah. It takes over you. It really does. And that is something that is concerning. I'm actually comfortable with. Comfortable is probably the wrong word. I understand now that this is just like it says at the bottom of the screen there, sheer takeover chaos. And really and truly, this is just going to keep going on and on for a hot minute. I think strap yourselves in. And of course, our role is to bring you this news and discuss it. That's what a fan channel is. That's what we will continue to do. But I think after I've seen what happened last night, nothing's off the cards, man. Nothing's off the cards. And I know that sounds quite somber, and it sounds quite, as we're getting towards the end of the show, it's a bit, oh man, it's not really what we want to hear. But we have to call it as it is. We can't fake news that hasn't happened, and also we can't act like last night didn't happen. Having said all this, though, I know we've been on a little bit of a somber one towards the kind of more negative sides, and this is why this is so crazy. On the other side, there are all them reasons as why it can happen.
We still didn't think we would ever get this far. We never thought we'd be having this conversation. We never thought we'd be having the talk of, and look, it's not over or anything like that. It's not done. The bids hopefully will go into today. We'll go in today, and let's see what happens. You know, I think the reason it's a bit somber is because whenever there is a bump in the road like this, you sort of go, this is what I was worried about. And your worst fears not get confirmed, but they play on the worst fears. And as I said earlier on, we're worried. And I think you have a right to be worried, as you said to me earlier. But at the same time, if those bids go in this evening, world record bids, we'll feel the same way we did prior to all of this chaos yesterday. We go, oh, great. Bids are in. Now, what are the Glazers going to do? Do they really want to sell? So it's just, we always said this was going to be a long road. I don't know about you, and I was always skeptical of those that said, I tell you what, April, it could be done by April. Could it? Yeah, it's going to be done by April. No, of course it's not going to be done by April. Summer. It's the 23rd of March or anything like that. Your feeling is, like you said, summer maybe, end of the season.
And you know what? Like and if it is the summer as well, bro, like just even on that, I hate to add more doom and gloom, but this is just what I feel.
I was building myself back up there, Fleck.
I know, but it could work the opposite. It could be the summer search really quick, so the transfer budget is there and we know what we're doing. But actually, if it is up in the air and we still don't know yet, and things haven't, T's haven't been crossed and I's haven't been dotted, like get to the summer, and it's like it can seriously impact what we try to do, what we want to do. Really, really can.
Positively
look at last
and negatively.
Year. Positively and negatively. That's what I'm saying. Where again, we're just in this 50-50. We're on this seesaw where we don't know which way it's gonna tip, on these weighing scales. Because if, like I said, if it is by the summer and Sheikh Jassim comes in, or Sir Jim Ratcliffe, or some consortium that we don't know, whatever it is, let's say it's the majority, where they buy out the whole thing, and they go, right, it's done. This is the transfer key. Here's what we want to do. Here's what we're going to do to the stadium. And it's all listed out. It's all public. And they've done interviews. And it all happens before pre-season. Great. But if it doesn't, and we go to we get into June, we get into the summer. Yeah, we get into, June, July. And obviously the new season starts in August. And it's not done yet. That massively affects Eric Ten Hag's plans. That massively.
By the way, sorry to cut your soliloquy there, but we have nearly 1,700 people watching. We don't even have 300 likes.
That's disgracing cheat. That's bad, guys. That's really bad.
I know it's been engrossing this morning.
It has. I think people have just been like this, just glued to the screens, or just driving into work or whatever, listening in the background, and just. We're all on this emotional train, so I forgive you lot.
You know what it was? I saw that we didn't have 300 likes, and I felt like this. That's what I felt like. I went, oh.
Because we should. 1,700 people watching. We've 300. We get more likes than that when we've got under 1,000 people watching and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get to that. Can we get to that 500 really quick? Can we just boom? Can we just do that?
Yeah.
We can do that. Please do that.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, exactly. And also, actually, where are we in our race for 140?
Very close.
We are at 983, 137,983. So, guys, please, that's what I'm saying, let's get going. Let's get going. Just under 20.
Was it 98? Just under 20. We can do that now.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We can do that now.
We can literally do that now.
137,983, less 17 of you watching statistically. There will be 17 watching that haven't subscribed yet. So if you haven't,
it's got to be, innit?
Yeah, if you haven't, click the subscribe button, click the notifications as well, so you're notified every time we go live or a new video is uploaded. I believe right now we can get 138,000 right now.
I've got the live counter up. I've got the live counter up. We've put the call out. We've put the rallying call to the UV community. To be fair, the UV community is very loyal. So if there's 1,700 people watching us, a lot of them will be subscribed. My computer just froze.
I was going to say you were sort of you were doing the whole
To be honest, I'm plugged in hardwired. You know when you're plugged in hardwired, but you've also got your Wi-Fi on and you want to turn it off, but I don't want to do it while I'm just and it's the end. I've come this far.
Yeah, you've done well. Also, as well, actually, and since we're doing a bit of housekeeping, I have some more housekeeping to discuss. Is that I saw some people saying, "Hey, the full view that was yesterday, it was only 20 minutes. What's going on with that? Why is it only 20 minutes?" Well, a couple of things. First of all, it may have been lost on some. The full view is not going anywhere. Monday, it will still be Mondays, 6 p.m. live for an hour. This week, you're getting multiple full views. They are chopped up into bite-sized chunks, I believe. Is that correct, Flex? Where you've got a 20-minute one here, a 20-minute one there. But next Monday, there will be another full view. Again, 6 p.m. live. So don't worry. The only reason there wasn't one this week is because they were filming the ones that actually are going up throughout the week. That was the only reason. But yes.
Yeah. So and actually, people really enjoyed really enjoyed it. And we really enjoyed it. The ones we've got coming for you are brilliant, actually, really good. But the main full view, I can't even get back onto this tab. My thing is moving mad.
You're back.
Do you know what? I am actually just going to turn it off. I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi. I'm going to refresh.
Wow. Look at him. And the thing is, he has the nerve to question KG and say things about KG and all that kind of stuff. Look at him. Technophobe over there. As Ash says, half you. Well, voices out of sync. We are 35 likes away from 500. How many are we? We're actually 34 likes away from 500 at the moment. So much so that Flex is smiling. This is what happens. This is what happens when you try and open new tabs during the stream. Look at him. We've got 3. It's horror. I've got 2 Flex.
I don't know. It's weird. My thing just. I don't know.
I feel like you were opening. Were you opening any new windows?
No, I've just got the same 4. I don't know. Really weird. But I've turned off the actual Wi-Fi and just with the hardware, so it's like now it's all right. I think it was that. It's disgraceful, cheap. Right at the end of the show as well. How disgraceful is that? I know.
We're not at 500 likes. Though. We're at 21 likes away from 500. By the way, just so
come on,
just so you have a bit of an update.
And we're at 988 as well. Subscribers 988.
Yeah, we're 137,988, and you're still doing the whole I know. You're still out of sync and still fast forwardish.
Even now,
it's better now.
Every time I go to change tab, that is so mad.
Yeah.
Can you get the last bits of super chats out? Because I don't even want to change tab.
Where were we? Lil Yo says, Sheikh Fleck Althani. My conspiracy theory still continues. My sources confirm Sheikh Fleck was working into the night on the new bid.
Can't confirm or deny.
Yeah. Makish has been a member for 3 months. Appreciate 3 months of support. Says one thing nobody likes to talk about when considering the Glazer staying. 6 billion is more than they could make in their lifetime if they stayed and took dividends, which is what I was saying. Which is, money up front and leave, but you never know. And VK once again is gifted 5 memberships. Count them again, 5 new memberships. Yes, in this entire stream, we've got 15 new members. Fleck, 15. That's more. That's maybe enough to pay your Wi-Fi bill. It's incredible.
Or just not have as many tabs open as usual.
That's true.
Because this never happened. I don't understand. That's weird. I don't know. Yeah. Better than a heater going off, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But do you want to turn it on?
Yeah. Have you still got it?
Yeah, I can turn it on if you want. I can blast that really loud.
The way you just went away, like you just literally just disappeared, like off the screen as well. Like
it's one of those ones where, like, once it gets to the certain temperature, it will just switch off. So you get lulled into, and it will switch off for a while. So you get lulled into a false sense of security, and then it will just come on at certain points, and it scares you. it's yeah. That's the story behind the heater, which I know everyone's gripped by.
Love that. Smash a like on the video, guys. Wicked show this morning, as per usual. I get it, filled with uncertainty and chaos and not knowing what's going on, but we spoke about it. And we have to say we'll see what happens from here. You know, hopefully we get to the end of today, and firm bids have been received by Man United from Ineos and Sheikh Jassim and whoever else needs to buy the Glazers out. Because right now we don't know. we don't know. We have no idea. What have we got later on today? We've got another full view coming for you as well. Again, like I said, little bite-sized episodes going out. So make sure you get involved with that in the lead up back to next week. Like Owen said, Mondays, 6 p.m. is always full view and always will be the full view in its entirety for an hour. But because it was in national break, we wanted to do something a little bit different, give you guys some more extra content. And actually, it's worked so well already, even after one episode, where we're onto something there. We're on something. So yeah, watch this space. So of course, we will be live or bringing you updates if things change throughout the day. But the next time you will see a video up on the channel will be 6 p.m. tonight, full view in real life, or the real full view. I kept calling it. It was weird. But yes, that is the next video. But if anything happens in that time, we shall see you before that time. Take care, people. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We are out of here. Peace.